Okay, Chris Grimshaw, welcome to My Football Life. I know we had you on across the pitch it's about this time last year actually, and it was well received. I think we had, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people listened. Compared, we only get a few hundred normally listen to our podcast, but there are a few thousand. So when I started this My Football Life, you're one of the first people that I thought I'd get on. So good evening, Chris.
I don't blame you, Daz. I should have been the first before Bumble.
Yeah, we should have recorded this, trying to set up this interview, and all shenanigans that have gone off with technical stuff.
My side of it wasn't, I hadn't touched nothing. Dominic and Katie sorted me out last night. It's your side.
I know you
need to get in the modern world, Daz. You're not with it.
I know you're a technical genius, but
well, yeah, I am.
You've had a bit of a good omen with a song that came on earlier today.
I have. Can I tell you about that, Daz?
Go on, mate.
I was just in my kitchen waiting for you to ring me, and pre-match nerves, And of all the songs in the world that come on, that's Entertainment from the Jam, which has meant a lot to me all my life. And I was 14, right, when that come out.
Yeah.
And I signed for Burnley that year. So from 14 to probably now, in some form or other, I've been entertaining, whether it's been on the pitch or off the pitch, mainly off the pitch in battle cruisers, singing cigarettes and alcohol for money, not for money, for ale, free ale. But anyway, it was just ironic that come on. And it was home and me higher power at working in strange places.
You've always been an entertainer, but no doubt we're going to have some.
I'll tell you what, it's a good job it weren't coming out before we started recording, because that weren't funny. Might be on edits out, outtakes. like Royal Family.
Yeah.
Probably the best bits.
Well, I've got a few of them. I've recorded a few while you weren't watching, so I'll be able to put them out. No.
You didn't record me making a cup of tea, did you?
Yeah, I'm worse. Right, so we're going to have some laughs, but I know everybody wants to know how you're going on, Chris, with your story. So, and some people who may not have listened to Across the Pitch might not know the full story, but just give us a bit of an overview of what's happened to you.
Ask me how you want.
Go on. So, how did it get to the point where you needed to turn your life around, mate?
Well, ending up in hospital, that might have something to do with it. When you say you've got to reach your lowest form, your rock bottom. Well, I did. I lost everything really through alcohol. If this can help other people.
Yeah.
Like your children, your house, your jobs, and basically I just had the clause, and I ended up in hospital, and it vowed I had to stop drinking, and I've never ever tried before. The kids have always tried to stop me, but nothing human possible could stop me from drinking, And when my two lads, Callum and Dominic, came to me in hospital, they said, "Dad, you're going to have to go to a rehab." And I thought, no way, I can't do that. But then the day after they came and said the PFA are going to pay for it, and I thought, well, if they're all at the same boat, well, like professional footballers, I can. From that day, I knew, and I decided then in that hospital bed, that's me. You know what I mean? So it all stemmed from there, and it's been hard. It's been a tough road, but I'm getting there and I'm doing well. I was taking it one day at a time, and that's the way you've got to do it. You know what I mean? And but I feel great. And I hope I can just help other people, because I was 56, and it's never too late to change your life around.
Yeah,
had to do, but for that, it's a lot. That's not just enough for a lot of people. They carry on to the death, and I had been one of them statistics, I've got 5 gorgeous children, and I thought, but you've got to do it for yourself, Dad,
Yeah.
It's got to be for your children as well and your family, but it's got to be mainly for yourself, because if you don't do it for yourself, they'll have nothing, So,
but it's I've spoke to Brett as well, and he's always struggles after football, and there's a lot of footballers, isn't there, who go through
there is, I think I don't know, it's like,
because you've gone through such highs, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. What do you do now after it's all finished? And I were, everyone loved me. Well, I think they did, and then it finishes then, and then you think, what do I do now? And I suppose, I did get a buzz from like singing in pubs. That's where it ended up in a way, But But I'm on the right tracks anyway. I'm doing really well. And
no, you're doing great. Everybody,
like I feel it's the right time to do it for you, Daz. Well, you asked me before, and I said I'm just not. But I feel, I'm good in myself. I feel confident. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it because I wouldn't put myself on a pedestal. But I'm confident. If I take it one day at a time, I've had great help from me at AA and that. So I go to a lot of meetings and it's some great people. I've just had to change my life totally around.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
I don't go into the places where I used to do. Because it wouldn't work. I just don't go in pubs now. I don't. And at first you do miss it because it's been all my life. It's like someone cut your legs off. But I've got the tools now in my head where different things. And I put all my energies now into my children, which is great. And obviously I love my music. I always play the music. I do a lot of walking. Just got to do different things, Daz, to keep your mind occupied.
Yeah.
But,
no, great. I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, but I mean, it's a big
you're all right.
story, isn't it? So,
like I say, if this can help anybody, I'm 58 nearly, so
exactly.
It takes some doing at that age, to turn you. You can easily think, well, what have I got to live for? I might as well just carry on, which a lot of people do, and it'll kill you. It will kill you.
It's like people who we know. It's like Buzzers. He's out there, hasn't he?
Great lad. I forget you won't mind me mentioning him. He comes round comes round to my house once a week. We very rarely talk about alcohol, but all we do is laugh. It's absolute, it's quality. Laugh. We just look at each other and laugh.
Yeah.
He's a superb lad. He's really helped me as well. So
that's brilliant.
Buzzer.
So right, moving on. What's it like to be a Burnley fan at the moment?
It's brilliant. I'll tell you what's good about it because I'm sober watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Without a shadow of a doubt, the best team since mid-70s. Because I started watching them like 5-year-old, but since Casper and all, the team they've got is immaculate. The football they play is brilliant, and it is great. Can you see me, Burnley?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, it's just a great side, and I'm chuffed with him. Yeah, I'm chuffed with me. I had a picture on Saturday with my 3 lads outside turf. It was brilliant. Lennon, Callum, and Dominic. It was fantastic. Because I remember having a picture of my dad outside turf, and my mate said, "Grimmy, have a picture with your dad outside turf. Might be the last one." And I never thought of it, and it were the last one, So it meant all to me, that picture with my lads. So, and like I say, little Lennon, he's come back into my life, and he's brilliant because he loves Burnley. If he said he were a Blackburn fan when I started seeing him again, I'm sorry, Lennon, you're not coming in this house. Oh, no way, Jose. But he knows the score. He knows the score.
Yeah. So we'll touch on. So being a massive Burnley fan all your life.
Yeah.
I know you started at Burnley.
Yeah.
That must have been brilliant getting there.
Like I said, I was 14, and I think from signing for Burnley at 14, I thought I had a bit of pressure on me from that age, and it carried on probably. But I'm glad you touched on that because when I did get released from Burnley, I was probably on verge at first team. Lee Dixon, Brian Lowe's got injured. Lee Dixon came into the team, and I was probably next right back to play. And but then John Bond came and released me, and I've never really spoken about this to any of my family or my dad. God bless him. I always felt like I'd let him down. When I got released, I didn't do, but I felt that, and I think my drinking changed then because I always liked to drink, but after that I like to drink to try and forget, if you will, a bit. It changed a bit. I've gone through all my life with that because Burnley, and no one really knows that, but it did change my way of drinking to try and forget about that. But obviously, I went on to play for loved it Stanley.
Yeah. Lots of pressure, though, isn't it? I mean,
it is. If I'm being a kid,
like Rotherham or somewhere,
it is for a local lad. And everyone knew me, and I felt like I let a lot of my friends there and my family. But obviously, you didn't. But that's the type of person I am, And maybe it's had an effect on my life. But anyway, I'm here honoured us. So.
Yeah, football's fickle, though, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
You're talking like Lee Dixon and Trevor Stephen, who got released. They went on to play for England, didn't they?
Well, that's it. Yeah, I remember. I remember going to Chippy after we finished training with Lee Dixon, and he would just. I think he was going to make his first team appearance on the Saturday, and he was saying, "You'll be next, Chris. Don't worry." And he went on to play for Arsenal, England. I went on to play for Stanley and Winnie. Not much difference, really.
Oh, Fleetwood,
only team that booed me when I played.
Yeah.
God, me.
But it's end of the day, you've had a brilliant story, haven't you? You've had a.
I have, yeah. And I just stop, like I say about the other side of it. If it helps anyone else, there is hope.
So who are your favourites growing up, Chris, at Burnley? Who were you?
Oh, without a doubt, Dob Orr, Martin Dobson,
Yeah.
Leighton James, Frank Casper, Brian Flynn, Steve Kindon. This is the best I can remember Burnley since then, and it was superb. Yeah,
There might have been a Tony Morley fan and Terry Cochran.
Absolutely. Thanks for mentioning them. Tony Morley, Terry Cochran, Willie Morgan, Leighton James, all them went.
Loads of wingers,
Trevor Stephen, absolutely brilliant players, brilliant wingers.
Mm.
I like to think I went on to be a good winger for Stanley. They don't play wingers anymore, do they?
No, exactly. No,
I said winger, not whinger.
Yeah. Getting in first. Right. Normally, starting off, I'm going to start asking people if they've got one piece of memorabilia that and you have tonight, haven't you? And you've started this. So
this is ironic. This.
Yeah.
My dad died 6-7 months ago, God bless him, and he gave me Dominic, my son, this match ball, which is here. This is how old I am. Look how old it is. How can you kick that? Can you see here?
Yeah.
It's all signed, but it's that. When Phil Staley was manager, he didn't like me, obviously. I mean, he used to put me as a sub. God bless him, he's dead. I'm not talking. Some managers we don't get on. But
no, it's only football at the end of the day.
Football, and all fans used to knock on dugouts saying, get Grimmy on. But I remember this particular game where we played the week before, and I didn't play very well, whatever. And we had a team talk before a game, and he went round every player, and he got to me, he went, now then, Mr. Accrington Stanley himself. And he said, you're sub today. There was only one sub in them days. And I felt it, I thought. Anyway, he had to put me on at half time because someone got injured. So I went on, Clayton then scored an hat-trick. Get in. And that's the ball. So it's about 30 years old, that ball.
Okay. Start again. Where were we up to? Yeah. It'd all get cut out. So
the match ball. Yeah, so that's gone. The match ball.
That's gone. Right.
Staley, yeah.
Right, Chris. So normally I have to put quite a lot of questions together for these kind of interviews. Fortunately, people have helped me out on Facebook. And you've seen some of them. I just put a few mentions out there that I was going to interview you, and so people came with some questions. So here we go. Alex Crow, okay, big Stanley fan. Best performance for Stanley and best goal.
Best performance for Stanley.
Yeah.
Definitely. Congleton away when John Alter was chairman, Harry was manager. I think if the fullback was still playing, he'd still be doing a circling ground because I had the game of my life. And I remember Alter and even Eric, he'd come up and I did. And at that time where I'd been released from Bury, I think there were other clubs watching me at that time because I've just recently been released. And he'll always stick in my mind that game. Yeah, I had a purling game, yeah. And the worst, did you say worst game as well?
No, best goal.
Best goal. I think it's got to be my first goal against, I remember it were, first game of the season, home against Staley Bridge. I think I sent you a picture of it when I'm down on my knees like that, in black and white, obviously, because I'm not old. Because Eric would give me loads of stick during game, like he used to do.
Yeah.
And it was coming towards the end of the game, I think, it would have been about 1986, I think that. And ball comes to me down to the edge of the box, I cut inside, I just whacked it right. And I knew we were going in, I turned around and went right up to Eric saying, is that all right? And good lad, Grimmy, I knew you could do it. I knew it.
Knew you could do it.
Yeah, good lad. And that's how we used to get best out of me. Yeah, so that definitely, yeah.
Right. So next one, Gary Demain. You know his
John
very well.
I know
he was cracking bloke, wasn't he, John Demain? What a guy.
He was a brilliant bloke with John. Lovely bloke. All time in the world for him. He was great with me.
Yeah. So he's Gary's question. He's a big mate of mine. He's Gary.
Yeah, he's a great.
Best live gig.
Oh,
we're going off football now.
Right, best live gig without a shadow of a doubt. At 14, another the Jam, King George's Hall, 1980. It was amazing. You know, I've been to brilliant loads of gigs since, but that had to be a first gig ever as well, to see the Jam.
Yeah.
Absolute heroes. There's no comparison. Yeah, that's Gary, the Jam, 1980.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been with me ever since. He's in the background there.
Yeah, well, it's the same with me. I mean, I think I'm 3 years younger than you, but anybody growing up in that.
Did you see ABBA?
No, but they just, like Weller and Jam, they just speak to you differently than anybody from our era. It's just another world, isn't it?
Well, it's got me through some sticky times in my life as Paul's music, you know. Not that I like music, you'll notice that, won't you?
Well, that's another question from Tony Robinson, actually.
Yeah.
Is there any music you don't like?
Yeah, AC/DC.
AC/DC, right.
Straight away, yeah. Shite.
Yeah.
Absolute shite. But, I mean, I do like most music, but I don't like them nebs or rocket. It's shite.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. But I do like a lot of music, like Tony.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I play music at nights and on Facebook, and people give me the yellow card saying I've lost the plot.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it on for other people. I'm not being selfish because other people like my music. So
you do. You dig some good stuff up. You did.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing.
Tracy Chapman and Pavarotti other night.
How good was that? Yeah, but I mean that's another thing, Darren. You know, like obviously I'm an addictive personality. I'm an addictive person. So if I'm putting music on, I put it on. So I want people to know what mood I'm in, and I don't want them thinking I'm sad and that, you know. Yeah. And I would have an accurate then someone said, Grimmy, that song you put, Mick Cronshaw it were, put Gary Newman on. And it's amazing how many people do like them, listen to them.
Yeah.
So it's just brilliant. My little niche at night, you know, it keeps me head occupied.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I like it.
You always put 2 or 3 on that. Like,
I'll put some ABBA on for you next time.
I don't mind a bit of ABBA. I'm on anything, mate.
I believe so.
Right, next question.
Go on.
Right, a good one to get you back here. Do you keep your cap on in bed by Deborah Phillips?
Oh, Deborah, she's a lovely girl, isn't she, Deborah?
Yeah.
Depends who I'm with. Usually on my own, so no. I take it off her now, give it a rest. I give me little bonnet a rest.
Yeah.
Keep my hat on in bed. I sometimes wear a swimming cap for bed.
Yeah.
Just in case it rains in.
I've heard
that. No, I tell Deborah, I don't always wear them. I've got an hat on there. I like hats. I'm obsessed with hats. Yeah. Addiction, there's another addiction. Hats.
Yeah. Next question from a lad you played football with at Burnley. Well, he didn't play with him at Burnley, but he's ex-Burnley. Played with him at Stanley. Les Thompson.
Oh, Tomo, what a lad.
Right.
Brilliant lad.
Night you shared a park bench with a stray dog.
Oh, fucking. Hang on. Fucking hell. Oh. No, I do know this. It's true.
Oh, right. Come on, man.
1995. This is to do with Stanley. Went to Barbados with Stanley.
Yeah.
I'll be about 29 then. What an holiday. We drank them dry. We won 2 games. I don't know we won because we drank them dry. It were brilliant. Anyway, so I was bladdered, obviously, in this open air nightclub right next to the beach. And I don't remember falling asleep, but I must have fell asleep. And I'm on this bench. And I woke up and I thought, I must have trapped off with a bird or something. I feel this licking on my face. I look out. This big rabid dog licking me like that big, full of rabe. I'm like, oh my God. And that's Tomo. What a bastard. Well, Tomo. Yeah, I do remember it.
Yeah, you remember it well.
I think it's the only thing I didn't get pregnant.
Oh. Next question.
Go on.
Right. Mick Shackleton, how many cakes do you eat now you've stopped drinking? So
say again, mate.
How many cakes do you eat now you've stopped drinking? So it must be Tesco.
Nice one, Mick. I do like Madeira cake. I'll tell you what I eat. It's very few and far between, but I'm obsessed with potato cakes, rice puddings, and obviously tea. I'm addicted. And Haribo, sours, dummies. I have to hand for my kids because otherwise I'll go mad with them. I woke up this morning, mate, and I had no milk. I didn't realise, but I won't go to that corner shop because I don't like it. He tried to sell my son a bottle of Prime for a tenner. I'm not having it. And I saw my neighbour, Kerry, she's lovely, and I said, can I have a bit of milk, Kerry? She said, yeah, what's wrong? I said, I need a brew. I didn't realise I'm addicted to tea. I'm addicted. Everything I touch, I'm addicted to. I was doing my own head, I was crammed as a wasp.
Yeah.
I had a brew, I was right. So, yeah, Harry balls, potato cakes and rice pudding.
Right.
With raspberry seedless jam. It's got to be raspberry seedless, no seeds in it. And a bit of sugar.
Right. Next one.
Right.
Dave Render. So
Dave.
He's asking
great lad.
Who your favourite player ever is. Favourite footballer.
Georgie Best.
George Best.
Yeah, without doubt. Everything he did on and off the field. Where did it all go wrong?
Where did it all go wrong?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah. Last one. Best sunbed shop in Accrington in the 80s.
Who's he from?
Me.
I'll tell you where. Can I tell you a story about this?
Yeah, go on.
I was going to an AA meeting. It's about 2 months ago, and I like looking at myself every now and then. Not, I just have to check myself out, you know.
Yeah, we know.
And I looked at myself, thought, fucks, I look fucking awful. I look pale, and I thought, right after my meeting, I'm gonna go for a sunbed, and it's called, I think it's called Safari. It's across from where my daughter-in-law used to work, property shop. I can't remember what it's called. It's a good one. So I goes in there, right, and girls looking at me. I must be oldest man in Aki. Must be oldest man in Aki to go to sunbed. I said, hiya, love, can I just book some sessions? She went, sessions? I went, well, you know, I want to a few times. I said, bear in mind, it's 38 years since I went on a sunbed. I went on for an hour last time. She went, an hour? She said, you can only go on for 9 minutes. I said, right, I'll book a session. So now I do I look brown?
No.
All right. Then.
No, they should have gone for an hour.
They're not working, are they?
No. Should have gone.
Well, I've been moonbathing.
But where did you used to go at 80s?
Oh, bottom of Water Street.
I know.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that because I used to go.
I was like a young Syrian.
We all used to. I know you were. Yeah.
Well,
in January.
In them days, you shorts for shorts, weren't they? And you used to pull them up at side. Yeah. When Tony Clements used to oil my legs up, I'm well brain. I used to love it. I had to have a show. I had to, I had to go out after I had to go clubbing and that. So
up Lardy's.
Oh, yeah, too royal.
What's your favourite nightclub then, Lardy's? Was that your best hunting?
Lardy's has got to be best club. These come from miles around, and they were brilliant. Lardy's.
Yeah.
I was going to say towards the end it were Dolly Gray's. African fun is not. Oh. Yeah, but I used to love the Apollo.
That was the end of your career then, weren't it? At Dolly Gray's.
That's definitely the end of my career. I think I was bored from what others. Lordy Doors was the best nightclub ever.
Yeah. Okay. What about out of town?
Out of town, I used to love the Cat's Whiskers in Burnley and the Angels.
Yeah.
Blackburn. Only time I ever went to Blackburn was after I had to go to Tommy Bowles to get some shoes.
Yeah.
And
what about Moorthorne Grange?
Oh, Moorthorne Grange. Hey, what a winner. Moorthorne Grange. Absolute classic. Grab a granny night. Even I could trap on a grab a night. It was unbelievable, that place.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have clubs there anymore, do they? They've never lived, have they, these young
No, it was brilliant, mate.
Moorthorne Grange. Bloody hell. It was fantastic.
I thought that'd get a smile out of you. Right. So let's just have a little bit of a chat about Stanley, because obviously it brings us all together.
Yeah, of course it does.
Eric Worley.
Yeah.
You must have had loads of stories about Eric. You ended up working for him as well as playing for him, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Eric's family won't mind me talking about him, and he was brilliant.
Yeah.
At the time I was playing and working for him, I hated him, obviously. But looking back, as I mellowed and he mellowed, I used to see him in Great Orwood and have a pie with him. And he was a brilliant character. He was a character, weren't he,
One-off, weren't he?
One-off. And I mean, he could get the best out of players, and he got the best out of me because I was a lazy bastard. And he knew it. I'd be playing with me mullet. If it was raining, I'd be like that. Look at you. Stop playing with your fucking hair. I'm like, take me off then. Then I'd get ball and just something. He'd say, go lad. And if I missed a chance, he'd go, Tess couldn't fucking put that in. It was brilliant. But yeah, I just loved him. So much stories. I remember played away at Darwin you remember Floodlit League? Tuesday night. Who wants to play at Darwin on a Tuesday night? One good thing about Darwin is the road out, isn't it? So
yeah,
and it was freezing, and he made his wear short sleeves. He couldn't put out underneath his gloves. No. And it worked. I saw Rowe the other week, and I told him he was laughing his head off. So we'd play it first off, and if you didn't play well for Eric, you knew half time you were going to get it, and I was freezing. Rowe worked so well, and I made the fatal mistake of saying Eric. He started having a go at Rowe, and I said Eric, he's not so well, and there was a thing of tea in the middle. He said not so fucking well, and he got hold of this tea. It went everywhere. His teeth come out all over. Give him a biscuit, fucking hell. Not so fucking well. Come on, come and sit with me. Fucking brilliant.
And his mate
Rowan to this day were laughing his head off. I went to a game. I think it were Bristol Rovers. I was looking for you. I couldn't see you.
Yeah, his mate were at Darwin, weren't he, as well, McGarry.
Ian McGarry, another loon.
Same kind of.
Same character. And them two are brilliant. And then, you know, they don't. I'm not in football now, but I don't see anything like, you know, the old school, you know. But great people off the pitch. I'll tell you what, Eric, if I was captain, and he'd wouldn't happen if we won or lost, he'd always, and John Alty, always come over and give me some money to get players a drink after game. Brilliant that way, absolutely brilliant. God bless both
times. I used to work with a lad who played for Darwin. He said before a game, he used to give him a drop of whiskey, a dram of whiskey, and punch him in the stomach, McGarry. That was his warm-up to get him going.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to sign for Darwin, for whiskey.
Apart from punching stomach,
I remember one with Eric. I'm just going to tell you this. We're playing, I think it were North Shields or something like that. It might be FA Cup. And we get some coach. Even though I was one of the youngest, I always have it crack. And I get some older lads were at back like Ashcroft, Eatoff, you know, John Taylor, and they're all like a lot older than me. And I started taking Eric off at front of court, back at coach, and all of a sudden the lads stopped laughing, and I thought, fuck's sake, he's behind me. I turned around and he's there going, very good, very fucking good. We get stick ground, right? I'm thinking, I played very well week before. Sits down, you're not even fucking sub, you. Fuck off. Anyway, so they got me, and then next game we had to play him, and I scored 2 or something. I went, but that's the way it were. You could not mess about with him. If I played back on a Saturday, then I was working for him on Monday. I used to dread seeing his jag at work. I was going to get a double bollocking, you know. Yeah. Oh, then I went to Morecambe with him. Then I thought,
yeah. Why did you go on at workplace with him? Did he give you any grief?
I tried to avoid as much as I could. Me and his son ball bag, great like Paul. Yeah. I just tried never to see him at work because I saw enough of him at Stanley. I don't know how I went. I remember having to tell him that in them days, if someone coming for you, they said they put 7 days on for you. And I were at Morecambe then with him, and Graham White wanted me to sign for him. I had to go into his office on a Monday morning, Eric, and tell him I was going to move to come down. Fucking imagine what that. I went down like a turd in a fruit salad. Honestly. But them memories are priceless. At the time, I was like a shivering whippet, frightened to death of him. I still would be now if he was sat here. Fucking would. That's the way it works.
Well, I mean, I know you played in Football League and you played, you know, you started at Burnley, but good to get back. You know, you had some good times at Stanley, didn't you?
Stanley, you know, for a local lad, if I weren't going to make it as a pro, which I didn't do, to make it as a 3 spells at Stanley, and for a Mackie lad as well, it was brilliant because the fans, even today, they still remember me. You know, I'm nearly 58. They still come up to me, and I love that. How many players have gone through Mackie since then? You know.
Oh no.
And obviously from there, I think I'd have played a lot more for Stanley. It was Stan Allen. Yeah. So we'd been to Barbados. We started the new season, and he was putting me as sub. So I thought, decided to move on. You know, the days at Stanley were fantastic, but I was in my prime then. I was nearly 30, and I'm playing really well. So then I went to Clitheroe. Yeah.
Yeah. You played in that centenary again, didn't you?
That would probably. Yeah, but that's it came. Did you put it on not long ago?
Yeah, I watched it back recently, and it were to say it were like they were friendly, really, weren't it? It weren't bloody friendly. It were played competitively, weren't it?
Yeah, I mean, 95 that, weren't it? That's the year they won Premier League.
They won Premier League and they put
played to players. Yeah, they played us, didn't they? Yeah, I remember playing. I had a Burnley shirt underneath.
Yeah.
So when I coming off and I took my Stanley top off, and I remember Kenny Dalglish were there, and I went, Kenny, and he hadn't got a clue. I don't think he knew about the rivalry. He just come out, I went, the Clarets.
And
Me and Ashley Hoskin.
Batty got stuck in, didn't it?
Did it? He went to the top on Becky.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I saw Becky, not only got wed Becky, all the way, got a good lad. What a good player.
Oh, definitely. And it's like at the time, if you dropped into non-league, it was difficult to get back, weren't it?
Very.
They just come and go, don't they?
They seem to do, yeah. But I'll tell you what, from coming out of the league into non-league, it's a different game. But you've got to prove yourself, and hopefully I did do. Like I said, I went to Clitheroe that year, when the year at Vars. So, and this is another weird thing, Dad. I weren't going on sunbed today, but I went through Aki. I might have gone on sunbed, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was talking to these two girls, and a bloke rode past on his bike, just an Audi bloke, and he just shouted, "Best player Clitheroe's ever had." I went, "Cheers, mate." I hadn't got a clue who we were, and just rode on. I thought, well, I'm doing a podcast, and I'm going to mention that.
Yeah, no, definitely. You got to Wembley.
Remember Wembley with Clitheroe, that was brilliant. Fantastic. I mean, I feel for Stanley because they were one game away, weren't they?
Oh.
Just like we were at Clitheroe on second leg at Shawbridge. I remember talking to Rowan, me and his dad and my dad, they dropped us off. We were nervous. We're 90 minutes away from Wembley. And as any lad, to play at Wembley is your dream.
Oh, it's your dream, isn't it?
We went into extra time and we got to Wembley. And there lies another tale, Wembley.
Go on.
Well, I'll have to tell you this one.
Yeah, go on.
So it was brilliant, everything about it. We had a meal at House of Commons and because of Evans, Nigel Evans.
Oh,
and everything about it. But then on the Saturday, United had played on the Saturday when the Cantona scored from edge at box, Liverpool game.
Yeah, that one.
And then knowing that we were playing day after on there, so Dennis Underwood, manager, God bless him. This was on the Friday when we set off, so we weren't playing till Sunday. He said, "You can have a few drinks, lads, today, and steady away, but don't forget Saturday nothing." And so I'm having a few. By the time we got to House of Parliament, I was leathered. This is on the Friday, and so then the Saturday come, and I'm thinking, everyone has a driving range, and I'm there, boy. I'm like, no one knew where I were. So then I have a room with John Riley, the great lad John Riley. They still sing. If a player misses a shot at Clitheroe, they still say, "You Riley in disguise." But God bless him, he hadn't even been picked to do any sub, but he were rooming with me, and he were upset and all that. Dennis decided, him and Gary Butcher, they were both joint managers, to knock on all players' doors. It's around 1:15, 1:45 in the morning, making sure everyone's asleep. We're playing at Wembley day after, and John Riley and Dennis Sunder will tell his story better, but knocks on John Riley's door and, "All right, John, where's Grimmy?" "I don't know. I honestly don't know, Dennis." "You don't know, do you know? Would you not have any idea?" "No." He says, "Right, all right then, John." John's pissed off anyway, he's not playing, he's not even on bench. So Dennis decides to come to the residence board and I can't remember where he stayed, Waldorf or something. And there were a rugby team had played the day before on, I don't know where they'd played, but they'd played and they were staying overnight. And Dennis comes down with Gary Butcher. And you remember the drinks, hooch?
Yeah.
This is how the story goes. They'd just come out then. I'm in the middle of all these cauliflower rugby players, rugby players, singing Sweet Chariots in the middle of them all, 2:00 in the morning. 2 bottles of hooch in each hand. Dennis says to me, "Grimmy, what are you doing?" I said, "For fuck's sake, Dennis, it's a stag do." He said, "A stag do?" Hang on, he looked at his watch, says, "You're playing at Wembley in 8 hours." I went, "Oh, fuck's sake, I forgot. I thought it was a stag do." So from that, I've seen him many a time since. He nearly dropped me from the game, biggest game of my life. And that's where a drink comes in. But I got man at that match anyway. I had to do.
Yeah.
But that's a great story.
You got away with it then?
I got away with it. But I knew I had to play well. We got beat, but to play on Wembley, it was fantastic. Clitheroe were a great club as well. Any lad's dreams to play on Wembley is fantastic, isn't it? And we were in the home changing rooms, with 3 lions up wall and on bath and that big bath.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic.
You loved it at Clitheroe, and I think
I loved Clitheroe. I've got to mention Clitheroe because, I think Clitheroe actually got my best playing days out of me because obviously that bloke thought so. He drove past me on his bike today, but the people and everything about it. Plus, they've got a castle. Plus, I ended up living there. Nearly killed me in Clitheroe, but it were a fantastic place. Fantastic club, just like Stanley, very family orientated.
Yeah.
But it were great times.
No, it was a good way to.
Just before that, I would like to say about Paul Weller. I've got to mention Paul Weller, haven't I? Because I went to see him recently in April with Dominic and Bethany. And totally sober, aren't I? Right. So I saw the jam when I was 14. That was 70th time I've seen Weller, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from 14 to 16, totally sober. I didn't drink then, obviously. Fantastic. So we're in King George's Hall, and Weller's playing all this new stuff. Stood there with a cork, and my daughter, God bless, she said, "What do you think, Dad?" I said, "Shite, innit?" I said, "I've watched him all these years, for 40 years, pissed. I thought he were brilliant. He's fucking shite." But then all of a sudden, he played an old song, and it was brilliant. And he played all out stuff, and I can remember everything about it. So I am not going to see him again. So I remember my first one and my last one sober, and they were brilliant.
Yeah.
Carry on, keep the faith.
No, I remember watching him at King George's all about, it might be 20 years ago, and he couldn't play any of his old stuff. There was something going on with legal.
Yeah, he weren't legal. He just would not play him.
Yeah, but
he would not go. He wouldn't. He got against his fans, and he wouldn't play them. So eventually started playing them.
Yeah,
I've been thrown out to most of my Weller concerts, but I certainly remember that one at King George's Hall. I said to her, if last train I'd have gone home, because everyone was bladdered. I was sober and Weller was shy, but eventually he came through. So God bless you.
Nice one. Right, Grace. There were some other things, but I think for another day, I'm sure we'll catch up.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
There's tons of stuff we could go through.
No problem, Daz. I've enjoyed it.
We haven't touched on, so I know you're keen to thank a lot of people who've helped you, aren't you, as well, Chris?
Yeah.
People who mean a lot to you.
That's brilliant. I'd like to thank the people from here, the friends that I've met through there are fantastic people. New group of friends, the same as me, and without them, I wouldn't have been able to be where I am now. But also, I'd like to dedicate this interview to my late mum and dad, who never lose sight of me. They always stuck by me, never judged me. They were brilliant with me, God bless them. Bernard and Kathleen. I'm sure they're looking down on me now and they'll be proud of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
My brother and sister, Kath and Dave, fantastic. And their husbands and wives and all their children. But to my children as well, Callum was 32, Dominic was 28, Bethany is 24, Frankie was 11, and Lennon that's 9. So, and we've got one on the way, and I'm sure Dom won't mind and Kate to say I'm going to be a granddad.
Yeah.
So, a new Grimshaw on the horizon.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. No, it's good stuff.
It's so inspiring for me to be around for that, and it's I'd like to dedicate. Well, looking forward to the new arrival. So, if anyone sees me walking around Ackery at pram, it's not mine. I know I am the Accrington pram filler, but I'll be the granddad for this one. Well,
I think you've got full allocation anyway, haven't you?
Gramps Grimmer, Gramps G, Grandpa G. Yeah. So thanks for it, Dad. Anyway, I've enjoyed that.
We'll catch up again soon, I'm sure.
Brilliant.
One thing I was going to mention.
Go on.
I forgot a young lad who's made his debut for Accrington recently, Conor O'Brien. That's been good, hasn't it?
Fantastic. I'm watching him, and we're really good mates with his dad and his brother Keith. And I love that because another local lad.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, that, isn't it? And it means a lot for, if you're a local lad, the Stanley fans love you,
Yeah.
I'm heading the wrong way to 6, and they still remember me.
Yeah.
And
there's a flag.
There's a flag, Grimmy Magic.
Yeah. What about the T-shirt? There used to be a T-shirt, isn't there? Is there any more? Have you got one?
I think Connor, my nephew, I think he might still have one yet. I mean, my niece Laura. Don't rush me. I'm in training for Aki Stanley.
We need to get that out.
For a pint. It's not a milk. It's a pint of beer on that T-shirt. But I should have got royalties for that. I think I got £1 a T-shirt. Should be a millionaire, shouldn't I? Since it's sold 7. Hello.
Yeah.
So it's been brilliant, Daz.
Right. Nice one, Chris.
My advice to anyone right?
Yeah.
If they're in the situation where I am, keep on keeping on and always keep the faith. All right, mate. See you
Cheers.
later.
Thanks, Chris.